I'm William Nozak, and in this module, I'm talking about search engine optimization. What is search engine optimization? It's the practice of improving the rankings of a website in the SERPs, search engine results pages. SEO helps to improve various key areas of a website, such as landing pages, the home page, blog pages, categories, tags. It also helps with increasing load times, making sure our pages are loading under a second and a half, making sure the pages are small enough, don't have too many calls. There are a lot of tools you can check the page speed. GTM metrics, tools.pingdom.com. You're always pinging pages to make sure that they're loading fast, right? Creativity, content, speed, they're all fighting one another. So we want to make sure that we're presenting a really good presentation on a specific page and also presenting it as fast as we can. End goal for SEO is to increase traffic to the site and improve the UX, the user experience. Right in the end, it's about getting more impressions that turn into more clicks, that turn into more leads, that turn into more sales. Impression load is going to be affected by SEO. Why? Because our positioning, if you're on page 5, you're getting 5 views a month. If you're on page 1, the bottom, you're getting 500. If you're in positions 1 through 3, you're getting thousands, tens of thousands, maybe millions. And so that's the whole point, is to check what pages are ranking for what, fix the content, add to, modify, iterate, change, redirect to other more authoritative pages. This is the whole SEO mix. And figure out how to get those pages so that we're in the top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, the bottom of the funnel. Also, we're talking about things that are down in the weeds and at a 10,000 foot view and at a 30,000 foot view, so that we help people to get value at all levels of knowledge in all places in the buying spectrum, where they're at the top of the funnel trying to research, in the middle trying to figure out who to use, and then the bottom of the funnel, really, I'm ready to buy. So 3 types of SEO, and we can break this down to 5 types, 10 types. Right now, this is just very top level. On page, technical SEO, and off page. So how does SEO work? SEO takes a bundle of best practices, right? You're not going to be good at everything. You're not going to have a team of 15 like we do, and some days we have a team of 20. But for the most part, it's every single day. You've got people that focus on one specific thing: the technical, the content research, the content writing, the publishing, the schema markup, pulling it all together, email marketing that drives them down to landing pages that are built to convert. Tracking all of that in Google Analytics, making sure that we've got good traffic, that's convertible traffic. What are they doing? Are they hitting pages that have 404s and have links that send them in the wrong direction, and anchor text that says this is over here, but then another anchor text that says nope, it's over here, and the anchor text of what the page is supposed to rank for is linking them somewhere else. So it's a bundle of best practices. You're not going to get it all right, but you're trying to get as many things right as you can. And that's why you use tools like SEMrush or Ahrefs to do a site audit, which will look at those things. And then Screaming Frog to check out your technical SEO and your mistakes, and Google Search Console to see if there are any errors there, pages that are having indexing issues, and like BuzzSumo to research, and Answer the Public to research, and just Google in general, and any other tool that gives you a new slice of data to make better decisions. So website crawlers check hundreds of metrics to decide ranking of a site. This is content, this is the macro strategy, what is the overarching theme of the website, what are the themes of the pages, what's the authority of the pages. Eventually when we get to part 3 of this, off-page SEO, what's linking back, how often does it get shared. All of these are SEO components, and the crawlers are reading this soup of things, these answers, these equations, and saying this should be higher in the link graph. Like if we have a bell-shaped curve and these are the most authoritative pieces and have the most content, the most links, and then where are you somewhere on that link graph, or maybe over here to the side? And so methods used for SEO include improving the user experience, making sure that the tap targets on the phone make sense, making sure that the first viewport makes sense, that we can convert the first viewport. That's very easy for people to get to and navigate your site, so that they're not walking around trying to figure out where they're trying to go for what they're trying to accomplish. So we want to always try to be more like Google in that way, is understand the user intent and build our site so that we can get them to the place they're trying to get to quicker. And it's always a good thing to practice like Wikipedia. Wikipedia is a great example of a resource that people know how to use and use it well. And when you can pull in some Wikipedia components into a lead gen website that's going heavy on content because we want to be authoritative and we want to be an inbound marketing team that gets searchers, right? Push versus pull here. And so these are all the components of SEO. There are a lot of things we're looking at, and there are a lot of things that can be managed. SEO helps increase the digital footprint of a business. This is not just the website. This is the directories. This is websites that rank for certain things also linking to us. This is social medias. Twitter bleeds through Google. Images bleed through. YouTube bleeds through. Some of Vimeo does, but having content in these different places, search engines, these different engines or vertical engines, we have content there that ranks in those engines. Facebook, YouTube, all these places where potential searchers are, we're doing well. And at the same time, we're focusing all these things that might bleed through in Google, having schema markup on our content, making sure our FAQs are on the pages that they're related to and not some generic weird FAQ page, and making sure our content is consistent, cohesive, within scope, has resources that people can drill down into. And as they learn more about that content, feel more confident with us, they can drop down the funnel, get them into our email marketing campaigns so that they don't have to continually find our new content. We can just ship it to them. All of this is the SEO recipe and the success story of getting organic traffic down the funnel. So on-page SEO is the act of improving the content. Your content strategy is a huge part of SEO. And the quality of the website, focusing on the user experience, the UI, the user interface, making sure the tap targets are right, making sure that the information is easy to access. They don't have to look and wonder. You could look at your user experience in Google Analytics and see where people are going, where are they getting lost, where are they dropping down and going back to. This tells us that there's information gaps or maybe we've got title gaps, or people think that they should find something here, but they're not. And so we want to do keyword density checks. We want to do use tools like Yoast plugin if you're using a WordPress, and check the how hard something is the readability. Check different things on keyword density and make sure that you're within scope, using synonyms, using antonyms if applicable, using an inverse frequency term if you still feel like you want to use that. I do. I love using that word that you see only rarely, having it on your page so that the bot just sees this word and it has value, because whenever it's written into these pages, they're more authoritative. And another thing with the SEO is I look at the top 10 results in Google, and I look at those pages and I say, okay, these are the categories that page covers. I look at page 2, these are the categories that page covers, and then I say, I'll take that category and that category and that category from position 3 and that category from position 4, and make sure my exhaustive better piece covers all of those categories and still stays within scope what I'm trying to accomplish, right? From the top of the funnel to the bottom of the funnel, from in the weeds all the way to the 30,000 foot view. And then giving my unique perspective, our value proposition. Why is it that we are also a thought leader here and should be in the mix? And elements, we want to always be focusing on the elements of a website. You've got some designers that build beautiful websites, don't understand a lick about how to get it ranked. And in fact, those beautiful websites oftentimes are on page 10 because the people are not coming back saying, look, your slug makes no sense. Your meta title makes no sense. The meta description's not been built in. There is no featured image. There is no H1 that makes sense against the keyword cloud that we're focusing on. The H2s are not in scope. They're all over the place. You've got an H2 that matches up against an H2 on another page or an H1 on another page, and we don't want these two to fight unless there's a reason why we have a little chunk here. But then on that page, of course, we want to link to that more authoritative page. Having these elements in place, having anchor text that strengthen what's on the other side of that link, right? The anchor text is at the top telling bots on the other side you should find this. And having them organic in the text so that those body, the body of your page has the content, and then you've got side navs, top main navs, bottom navs. Those don't have nearly the value as your body text. So when you've got these really clean anchor text linking down to these pages, it strengthens the whole property. It helps bots to understand where's this, where's that, and then we can look in our search console and see which pages are still fighting and continue to improve. So technical SEO focuses on what the indexing crawlers of Google and other search engines are looking for. This is image size. This is your elements, your HTML. This is your 404s. This is your redirect loops. This is your rel canonicals. This is everything that has to do with making sure that the site is what we say it is. We're not linking out to HTTP resources. We don't have mixed media issues on the site. The whole site's an SSL secured, and every page is SSL secured. And we're not linking out to 404 pages. We're making sure that everything inside the site is linking to what we say is on the other side of that. When we change a URL and then redirect it, we want to make sure we link down to that new rel canonical, the new resolving place. If it's WordPress, we want to make sure we're linking down to the trailing slash, because that's how WordPress, the PHP development WordPress works. It ends in a trailing slash. And so we don't want to send things to the non-trailing slash, which then are redirected to the trailing slash. We want to work on our technical score is super important. You're using tools like Google Lighthouse to check to make sure it's accessible by individuals with visual impairments. It's got good SEO practices. It's got good best practices. It's got good performance. You're using the right server. You're using a CDN or Cloudflare when it's applicable. Pretty much all the time. You're using caching plugins that aren't fighting one another, that aren't creating more issues. There's this mix of plugins in WordPress that work well together. And then there's a lot of individual written plugins that will just fight each other and break a site. So, and then that works at the same time for unique designs that just like custom builds. You're always watching those things and how fast is the site, what's the technical look like, who's looking at the SEO to make sure that the bots like it. And so really you're focusing on that architecture. Now off-page SEO are practices and optimizations that are incredibly important, but don't necessarily only affect the actual website. So off-page SEO, this is link building. When we've got great resources, we want to reach out to people that also have great resources and have them link to our great resource, and in turn link to theirs if it's applicable, if it strengthens ours, obviously. Certainly you don't want to be scammy and spammy, and like everyone else in the industry is doing, is spamming, hey, we can write on your blog, hey, let us write on your blog, hey, link to our blog. Yes, that's not what I'm talking about. That is, ew, I hate that. What I'm talking about is truly looking at the link graph. Who are the leaders? Did we write a resource that they may want to cite because we are authoritative? We're not being spammy. Or sharing it in our social media in January, and sharing it again in June, sharing it again in April or another month, and allowing it to gain traction in social media. Turning those blog posts into audios, videos, an infographic, really beefing them up. Now, there is always going to be outreach. You're always going to be trying to reach out to thought leaders, websites that are at the top of the link graph, that are more authoritative and trusted, and we're always making these connections within our space so that we can get links to those pages, because those links to those pages will strengthen those pages, and then the internal links from those pages to other pages that don't get links very often, it's going to flow that authority, and we want to channel that authority to certain pages. And that's why we're always looking at our link graph, always looking at the most linked to pages on the site. It needs to make sense. They certainly shouldn't all be linked to at the same frequency. And we don't want to link to 1,000 things on a single page. At the same time, it's very hard to ruin a page by linking to too many resources within your site. It can be done, and that's why you want to track in Google and make annotations in Google Analytics. Hey, we've added these internal links to these other resources from this very authoritative page, and just pay attention to those things. That's why tracking is extremely important. So we're writing content. We're writing content for other people's stuff, and then even if we got a bio link back to our stuff, that's great. We're writing on blog websites that have communities there, and things like Quora and Reddit and other blogging resources, maybe like Blogger. And so we're linking back to more authoritative things that are in our digital footprint that really drive things towards our end goals, whatever our end goals are. So that's in a nutshell, search engine optimization. If you need to watch it again, go back. If not, I'll see you in the next module.